Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Nigel Bradham brings him down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. They go play action here on first down. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. they exceeded that number in a big way.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Hicks in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now this now, play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And his kick here is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave them a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And he was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 23 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And now running right through it, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Throwing. Prescott escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Tip carry now for Elliott. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. So we're through a quarter here on Thanksgiving Day. 3-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a third and short here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flushed out right, and he'll get nothing out of that one. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
Come
on. What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On play action, it's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now Wentz on third down. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And some strong running. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out. Before he knew it, he'd hit the sideline. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass again.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Down and man.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working from the gun, Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination.
Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The give is to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. And along with the rest of his offensive mates, here comes Zach Ertz. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Wentz going to throw. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to...
Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Prescott. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Over the middle here to Brown. On 1st and 10, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here and under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
And you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down, Prescott. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now Prescott. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A good pickup of 6 there on first down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Wentz. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving again to everybody at home as we take a look ahead to what's coming up both later today and this weekend. The best of the early games on Sunday may just be in Buffalo, where the Bills face a big test as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we'll wrap up the weekend with a good one between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys lead, though, by only a point. It's been a tight one. As for the start of the third quarter, we'll send it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of
a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. To throw is Wentz. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. If he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Yeah. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again. And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Will tie his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. They had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Wentz to throw on second down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Now Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Come on now, let's
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Wentz. This will be caught at about the 6. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They'll run with Smallwood. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? You keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space. Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. David Irving in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking.
I know that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing. Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Kendrick Norton there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. It's caught by Aguilar. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. Now Wentz on third down. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. There the Eagles are back within a score. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Wentz now to throw. And his pass incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Throwing now is Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Ertz over the middle. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. David Irving in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Shotgun now for Wentz. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now they try the right side here. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. All right, Charles, let's talk to these numbers. What do they mean? What's happened?
You don't always want to give it to just, hey, they made a great adjustment, they took him away, but I think that that's a big part of what we're seeing here. They've gone in at the half defensively and figured out where he's hurt them and made changes accordingly. Sometimes it's just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Wentz going to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing is Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards there and a 1st down. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. To throw is Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Wentz now on 1st down. A dump off to Smallwood. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, Smallwood. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go and they'll start at the 25. And now here come the Cowboys. They're down here.
Gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fresh off the pick-6,
they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 41 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Prescott on 1st down. Able to get away. Broken tackle. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Derek Barnett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Prescott now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
3rd and long for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Rasul Douglas picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And they'll indeed take a knee. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And they will take a knee here. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Philadelphia, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.